the ship, 150 attended schooling, going to one of the 3 locations near the center of the ship. There was Hippock, the school for doctors and chefs due to the similarities in their trades, the mixing and application of plant herbs, of which approximately 20 students attended, their parents typically from those positions. Next was Empry, where students were taught to read their futures as the historians, leaders, and other educated members of the ship, and admissions set for a maximum of 10 total seats. For the rest of us, 130 in all, there was Verte, the school for gardeners, porters, and the occasional chief guard or assistant. I still remember the year before my first day, when my father held my hand and whispered bedtime stories to me. "Once," he would say as I resisted sleep with wide-open eyes, "once, it is said that the ship was so large that you could walk for days without touching a wall, that the potatoes you see me farming used to grow as tall as me, perhaps even taller, and had stems as thick as my arm. Instead of the glow lights above, there was only one glow light, and somehow it split into the many that we have today. And in the floor of the ship, there were rushes of water, hallways, so to speak, that entire men could float down." "Float down water?" I asked at 3. Even back then my brows crossed in confusion. "They must have been very rich to have that much water." "Indeed, they must have been. But these are only stories, Horatius. Stories that my father told me and his father told him." "But where from?" I asked. "Where did the stories come from?" "The historians, of course," my father answered. "They have all sorts of stories, some so ridiculous it makes me think that they are crazy, not full of common sense like ourselves." "The historians," I had repeated, the cogs in my young mind spinning. "I want more stories, Papa. I want to be a historian." A frown creased my father's face, and he sighed. "Well, Horatius, I don't know." "But I do," I protested, and regret crossed his face. "Look, Horatius," he said, "we gardeners, we keep the ship alive. Without us there would be no food. There would be no one to carry water. Everyone would starve and thirst. But without the historians, well, we would lose stories. And we could do without that, Horatius. Food provides. Stories do not." Then he tucked me into bed, using the patched blanket he had mended from his own youth and still bore his scent, and departed. "A historian," I had whispered before falling asleep, disregarding his last words. "A historian." 1 year later, my father dropped me off at General Assembly, where the 25 children of my year awaited their school assignments, each with a pack of vegetables for lunch and shy expressions. We had seen each other throughout the ship before, and Mitch, my best friend, was there next to me. But today was different. Never before had I been with that many people my age at the same time. "Welcome," said an adult at the center of the auditorium. High above him was a single large glow light, surrounded by 8 other lights that had appeared to have gone out, or perhaps were never installed, but were rather painted over with various colors. I remember being impressed with one that was swirls of green, white, and blue, and had situated myself underneath it. "Today you will receive assignments to your schools," continued the adult. "1 of you to go to the Empry, 2 of you to Hippock, and 22 to Verte. While these placements are permanent, I encourage you to work hard, as your final assignments will be conducted at the end of your schooling. It is not unheard of for a farmer to seek to become a chef, or a doctor a chief, but it comes only with hard work." I remember nodding and waiting, my arms crossed over my chest. I was ready to learn stories, and I was ready to learn letters. I knew I could do both. "Elliot and Hannah," said the adult, "both of you will be attending Hippock, so please exit through the door on your left, where you will be escorted to the school's chambers. As for Empry," he said, scanning the crowd, his eyes landing on me as I burst into a smile,